Hi there and welcome. In this video, we're going to focus on the try-it problems for our polynomial operations unit. So we're going to start with page 24 of your Algebra 1 Quarter 3 notebook. We will be looking at all the try-it problems, so we will be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing polynomials in this video. Find the sum or difference, so I'm adding and subtracting on page 24. And if I look at this particular binomial plus a binomial, I see that I have 9w plus 1w minus 4 plus 5. And when I combine them, I have 9 plus 1, 10w, and negative 4 plus 5, which is positive 1. In my next example, I have addition again, so I'm going to rewrite. I got 6x squared plus 1x squared minus 3x plus 1x plus 1 minus 1. Continuing my combining process, I've got 6 plus 1, which is 7x squared. Negative 3 plus 1 is minus 2x, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So this trinomial plus a trinomial actually simplifies to a binomial. Lots going on in number 3 because I've got to distribute this negative. Of course, I'm starting with, there's just negativity all throughout this. But let's rewrite first by distributing the negative to each term within this polynomial. Negative times a negative is going to be 9x. Negative is going to be minus 2x cubed, negative 8x squared, and I've got a negative. I'm just going to circle where I'm distributing negative into subtraction or negativity. Negative times a negative is going to be a plus 5. Let's do my rewriting. And I'm looking for my highest exponent because I want to write these into standard form, and that's a 5x cubed. So I've got 5x cubed. I've got minus 2x cubed, minus 6x squared, minus 8x squared, plus 4x. There was no just single x there. I forgot the x. Minus 1 plus 5. All right, 5 minus 2 is 3x cubed. Minus 6 minus 8 is negative 14x squared. 4x is alone and will stay 4x. And negative 1 plus 5 is plus 4. In our next one, we are also distributing a negative. So I'm going to make sure I distribute. It's all into positive numbers. So it's going to be negative 3b squared minus 6b minus 1. So I've got 8b squared minus 3b squared. I've got minus 6b plus 6 minus 1. 8 minus 3 is 5b squared. Minus 6b is the only one of that type of term, and plus 6 minus 5 is plus 5. Okie dokie, and this next one, it looks like I do have to distribute before I can combine my like terms. I'm going to distribute the 2 to each term within that trinomial. 2 times x squared is 2x squared plus 2xy plus 4y squared. Now I'm going to add 3 times 6x squared, which is 18x squared, minus 3y squared. Alrighty, let's rewrite, just get my pieces together. Looks like x squared, xy, so we're going to go alphabetical. So I'm going to do 2x squared plus 18x squared. xy, this is my next x, it's an exponent of 1, so it's 2, 1, I'm going in standard form, plus 2xy, doesn't look like I have any other xy's, and then I've got plus 4y squared minus 3y squared. Alrighty, 2 plus 18 is 20x squared. I only have one xy. And plus 4 minus 3, 4 minus 3 is just 1, so it's going to be just plus y squared. And the last one on this page has us distributing a negative 2. And remember, this is a negative 3, so that'll create some positivity. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6xy. Negative 2 times a positive y squared is minus 2y squared. I should be writing in blue, so I'm just going to switch over now. Okay, it looks like x, y's are my two different variables, so I'm going to look for my biggest or highest exponent of x, which is 4x squared. My next highest exponent of x is right here, x to the first, so plus 6xy. And then I have a plus y squared and minus 2y squared. So not a lot to combine in this one. I've got 4x squared plus 6xy plus 1 minus 2 is minus 1y squared, and I won't write that coefficient of minus 1. Alrighty, we're going to switch ahead a wee bit to page 27, and I want you to take a look now for these problems where we are going to be multiplying. I am probably going to be using distributing and FOIL, so if you like the table method better, you can also do these problems in this way. This is a monomial times a trinomial, so I'm going to distribute 3x to each term. I'm going to skip that intermediate step and talk it through as I go. So I have 3x times 5x squared. That's 3 times 5, which is 15. I have x to the first times x squared. 1 plus 2 is 3. I've got x cubed. I have 3 times negative 9. That's minus 27. And I have x to the first times x to the first. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I got x squared. I have 3 times 2 is 6. And I've just got my x. I am done. No like terms to combine. A lot of distributing here, which is very exciting. And it does say watch out for addition and subtraction. So I'm wondering if I have to combine like terms. Let's distribute this monomial to this trinomial first. I've got 3 times 4, which is 12. I've got a to the first times a squared. That's going to give me a cubed. I've got 3 times 7. That's 21. A to the first times a to the first is a squared. And I've got 3 times negative 8 minus 24a. Now I'm going to distribute negative 5a. Just make sure here I've got a negative. So I have negative 5 times 7. That's minus 35. A to the first, a squared. There's another a cubed. Negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15. A1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. And now I have negative 5 times a positive 4. That's negative 20a. And it does look like I have some like terms here. I have 12a cubed minus 35a cubed plus 21a squared plus 15a squared minus 24a minus 20a. And I've got some combining to do. I've got 12 minus 35, which equals negative 23a cubed. 21 plus 15 is going to be plus 36a squared. And minus 24 minus 20 is going to be minus 44a. So now we could multiply and add. All right, I got a binomial, and as I said, I'm going to use the FOIL method. So I'm going to do my first 7b times 2b. So 7 times 2 is 14, and b times b is b squared, because I had a 1 plus 1. My outer, I'm going to have 7 times 8, and that's 56, and it's just a b. I have now my inner, negative 4 times 2 minus 8, and there's just a b. And negative 4 times 8 is minus 32. So I'm going to combine my middle terms and get 14b squared plus 56 minus 8 is going to be 48b minus 32. And there is my binomial times a binomial. And here we go with a binomial times a trinomial. I'm going to use the distributing method. 8x times 4x cubed. 8 times 4 is 32. X to the first, x cubed. 1 plus 3 is x to the 4th. 8 times negative 2 is minus 16. First, second, that's 1 plus 2, x cubed. 8 times 6 is plus 48. I've got a 1 plus 1, x squared. And 8 times negative 7 is minus 56, x. Woo! Now I've got my negative 3. So I just got to be careful of any negatives. So I have negative 3 times negative 2. And that looks like I'm going to line this up under negative 3 times negative 2 is 6, and it's going to be x squared. Now this is negative 3 times 6, which is minus 18x, and negative 3 times negative 7 is minus 21. So these two first terms will end up not being combined with anything. And my next terms, 48 plus 6, should be 54. And 50 minus 56 plus minus 18 is going to be minus 74x. And negative 21 does not have anything to add or subtract to. Okay, one division. Let's rewrite this as individual fractions. I have negative 30y to the 8th over 6y squared. I have 18y to the 5th over 6y squared. I have negative 24y squared over 6y squared. When I combine them, negative 30 divided by 6 is negative 5. 8 minus 2, y to the 6th. 18 divided by 6 is a positive 3. 5 minus 2 is y cubed. Negative 24 divided by 6 is minus 4. And I have 2 minus 2, which is 0. So that cancels, or quite frankly, becomes a 1. And if you love word problems, we have one of those in our Try It. And this is going to, again, we're going to write some expressions to represent volume, perimeter, and area. So Maggie bought a large storage box. We're going to assume it's not a cube. It's going to be a rectangular prism, so length, width, and height will be different. The length of the box is 3 more, so that's plus 3, twice the width, 2w, so 2w plus 3. The depth, remember, depth indicates height, is 3 times the width, and w equals w. So the perimeter, if you recall, is going to be 2w plus 2l. So I know 2w is going to be 2 times w, and w is w, plus 2 times 2w plus 3. Distribute, I've got 2w plus 4w plus 6. And combining like terms, 2 plus 4 is 6w plus 6. That's my perimeter expression. Now, what I'm going to look at is the area. And area equals length times width. My length is 2w plus 3, and my width is w. So I'm going to distribute, let's look a little backwards, but it still works backwards. 2 times w to the first times w to the first, that's going to be 2w squared plus 3w. And last but not least, we got volume, which equals length times width times height. I'm going to just put the width first, so width, and then I'm going to put my 3w, and then I'm going to put my binomial. Put my binomial last. I'm going to multiply my monomials first, so I have 3w squared times 2w plus 3. And now I can distribute 3w squared in. 3 times 2 is 6. W squared, so 2 plus 1 is w cubed, and w plus 3w squared. Alrighty, I have about 30 seconds. This video ends. How much space is available inside? So we're thinking volume. So w equals 2. I'm going to look here. So 6 times 2 cubed plus 3 times 2 squared. 6